Welcome to the Sales Dojo podcast. The podcasts are here to help you address the real issues salespeople face every single day.
Hey everyone, we've got a full, what do you call three people together? A prial? I don't know. All three of us are here. Even though Susie is international businesswoman of mystery, is in Switzerland. Is that right, Susie?
I am. I'm in Vevey in Switzerland, just off or on Lake Geneva, and it's beautiful.
God, it's like people listen to this just for you, really. Where's Susie this week? Yeah, you make me and Leon look as unglamorous as possible. You've also got a special chair behind you that you were just showing us in the green room. Tell us about that.
I do have a special chair behind me. Behind me is Eva Longoria's director's chair from when she filmed the what was it called, the adverts, the Nespresso adverts. Hang on, let me see if I can just show it. Should anyone be there it is in the corner, just over there. So it feels super. It feels like she's here in the room.
Does it have Eva Longoria's DNA in it? Could we recreate our own Eva Longoria?
Oh wow, I wonder how many people have tried that.
That will be quite weird. Let's get on with some sales stuff. Me and Leon are in our usual spots. Susie's living it up around the world. We're going to go straight in. First post this week shared on LinkedIn. Leon, in your beautiful accent, I'm going to let you introduce this.
Nice one. So I am in sunny Liverpool, just on the shores of the River Mersey. And the post that I shared this week was from Mike Gallardo over at Deal. And we spoke about Mike a few times. And the reason I've shared this is a couple of reasons. One, Deal are doing really well. So best advice you can ever give anyone when they're in sales roles is find someone who's doing well and copy what they're doing. So that's exactly what we're doing with the Deal stuff, because Deal are flying. And two, it's basically, here's how you do something that works for us. So it's something that we can all rip off, all sell and pass off as our own course on LinkedIn if we want to, but also use effectively to make some money. So it's how to structure an outbound sequence. So if you've listened to us talking, or you've seen sales training, or you've seen other people talking about this kind of stuff and thought, where the hell do I start? Well, brilliant. This is where to start. 6 simple steps you can steal today. So the first one is value props or value propositions. Mike says that you need 2. You need to spend a lot of time researching and thinking through the core value propositions of your business. You should know in your own customers' words exactly what their challenges are, what they're looking to accomplish, and how you specifically help. Little tip from me, but maybe not from me, just from the internet, is use something like Perplexity AI to do some research on this for you. They'll be able to find that and really nail that for you, but make sure you do then change it into your own words and more human. Number 2 is the tip is triple tap. So email, phone, and social all on the same day to break through the noise. The best strategy for getting attention and responses from busy prospects. Plus, you never know which channel your prospect is most likely to engage with. Number 3 is cold emails. 2 emails per value proposition. First email you send plus a reply email. That's it. Anything more, you start risking getting marked as spam. So focus on quality over quantity. Really good tip there if you are using email marketing. Step 5, Chris loves this one. It's cold calls. Mike says 6 in total. No matter what anyone says, these work. Tied for the first with LinkedIn outreach right now. And if you have Power Dialer, it can be a superpower. Do not sleep on the phones, friends. So we can all definitely agree with that, I'm sure. If you haven't got a Power Dialer, then you can also get some pretty decent dialers for free if this is the first thing you've done it. And the other thing is, if like you are low tech, you can also just press the buttons yourself on the phone. It still works that way. It's really cool. And then the 6th step is a breakup email. He says this is optional, but I think it can be done well. A lot of people have strong beliefs here, and whether it's the case, my advice is to test it out yourself. The bonus tip is to engage with their content on LinkedIn. You then ask, what did I miss? A little bit further down the post, which we'll share the link to, is also step 1 through 15, what day you should do it on. It's 17-day steps to working through these prospects. Will this guarantee you sales from every single one? Absolutely not. If you haven't got a process or an outbound plan, then here's one you can start using. like with any process or any marketing or anything that you do, test and measure, see what works, see what doesn't. The one that I would pick up on this, and I'll go to you guys in a second, is the breakup email. So I've been using these a fair bit with some outbound I've been doing with something, not the telecom stuff recently, and found them really useful. Both for people going, yeah, nice one, see you later, don't bother me again, so you can take them off your list. And two, with people going, oh, do you know what? Dead sorry, been busy. Here's me cash card details, here's my email address, here's my phone number, here's the thing that you're waiting for. So breakup emails are great. And if you've not done them or used them before, they can be dead useful in maybe realigning whether your pipeline is full of brilliant opportunities or just bullshit. What about you, Susie? What would you think of this sequence? Have you used them before? What are you thinking? I know you'll say loads of stuff without swearing because you're lovely like that.
I'll do my best not to swear. Like you say, anything to give a try is helpful. So I think this is something you can certainly try. I'm intrigued, actually. Interested by the email, LinkedIn, and phone call all in one day. And also the manual email, LinkedIn connection request, and phone call all in one day. I would love to know more as to why that works. I mean, I've got no evidence that it doesn't work either. I'm just intrigued by it, I guess, because I'm wondering at what point people think, hang on a second, they've just sent me an email and now they're sending me a LinkedIn request and now they're calling me. I don't know, it feels a little bit desperate. That's my opinion, but Mike, if it's working for you, then I stand corrected, and just tell me what the theory is behind that, because it's super interesting. I am not a huge fan of a breakup email when you've had zero communication back from the person. Like, I'm a huge fan of a breakup email when you've been in contact with somebody and they've kind of ghosted you and everything. I think that's fair. But sometimes I think it feels a bit weird. I mean, I get these kind of emails or LinkedIn messages where they've sent me an email and another email and another email, or a message and a message, and I haven't replied because it's not interesting. It's just that, I don't know, they've written to me and they've said, other financial directors like you or something. They've got it completely wrong. Or it's just not interesting what they're saying to me. And then suddenly I get a breakup email and I think, well, hang on a second. I haven't replied to the 16 emails you sent me already. So why would I reply to that one? That's me personally, but I have seen them work really well when you've been in contact with that person, and it gives them a chance to say, oh, sorry, been really busy, or it's a hard no, thanks very much. Like, I'm giving them a chance to get out. So I guess that's what I would pick up on here. And I'm absolutely a fan of number 5, the cold calls. You should always be picking up the phone and trying to reach people. I think it's the best way to communicate with people you're trying to reach. You can get a much faster response. Even if it's no, you can qualify them out that way. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Chris, I'm assuming you are too.
Absolutely not. Mike, like, get out my LinkedIn, Mike. Like, I know you're doing really well, pal. I love you and I like your posts and everything else. You seem to be the only person on my LinkedIn at the moment. You've really upped your LinkedIn game, Mike, because I'm seeing a lot of you in the last few weeks. If you're listening to this, I've not agreed with all of it, Mike, and I think I have commented to say so, but this is why we're here, isn't it? And listen to people who are doing well, as Leon said. Only points from me, I really like really early on, he says, use your customers' words. I think that's just advice so many people miss. Like, why should you buy off you? Well, don't get you to say it. Why do your customers say it? Because they're going to be speaking the language of your other customers. That's always going to cut through far better. Go and talk to your top buyers. Why did they stay with you? Why did they buy off you? What do you do for them? They're going to give you your best value prop ever. Better than AI is. Go and speak to those real people. So I like that, Mike. This triple tap thing, I've been observing this as a buyer quite a few times in the last few weeks. I've not had a triple tap, I've had a double tap. And I'm putting it down to people who haven't got the balls to get on the phone, but I'm getting a LinkedIn request with a message and an email on the same day off a lot of people. And I'm clearly in a sequence where they email me and DM me on the same day throughout a sequence, but they haven't picked up the phone yet. Now, this is infuriating to me. If you DM me on LinkedIn, and you know what, I'm not worried about saying this because I've said it months ago and it never happened. I've purposefully put my mobile number right at the top of my profile on LinkedIn, because if you're going to sell to me, you're going to have to phone me up. Since I did that, do you know how many people have phoned me up? Have a guess.
I think I know the answer.
0, zip, zilch, nada, nothing.
1.
Okay, I was wrong.
But they'd already called me a few months earlier, so they didn't get it off me LinkedIn anyway. Yeah. How many DMs have I had? How many shit emails have I got? Give me a call. Triple tap might work with me. Yeah, I've got on my radar. There was a lady the other day. She sent me quite a good email, quite a good DM, but it just slipped my mind because I'm busy. I went, oh, that's quite interesting. And I just carried on with my day. If my phone had then rang, you possibly would have engaged me. So if you've got results and data on this, Mike, I quite like it. Last one, I'll give me 10 pence on breakup emails. Forget when you do them or anything. I think breakup emails are a great test of your mindset. You would only ever send a really good breakup email if you knew your own value, you were conscious of protecting your own time from people, and you were quite open to hearing a truthful answer. So if you are sending breakup emails, it's a good litmus test of your mindset towards selling, that you're not clinging on to hope, that you're quite open to it being a no, and that you value your own time and where you're spending it highly, which are signs of you doing things really well. So whether you like the breakup email or not, and I agree with you, Susie, to be fair, if they've never engaged with you, it's weird sending a breakup email, isn't it? But it's a good litmus test of where your head's at. And I think it shows your head's in a good place. So I like that. Mike, keep up the good work, pal. Mike Gallardo. We'll get you on the podcast really soon. Susie, a lovely, fairly long post. I'm looking forward to this one from Matt Kay, from you, Susie.
This piqued my interest, Matt. So it's getting a mention on the podcast because I love it. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I think the first few lines actually sum up really nicely what you were going on about or what the point you're making. So Matt writes, he says, not once in 2.5 years did my sales director shadow a single sales meeting. I could stop there really, but I'm just going to read a little bit more. He said, not mine, not anyone's, 25 AEs, 0 real observation. Everything looked fine from the outside. Targets were ticked off, deals landed, ARR grew, everybody celebrated. So maybe you're thinking, well, maybe I didn't need to do it because everyone was doing such a good job. The problem was there was no genuine coaching, no idea how deals were won or lost, no matter the size, 0 feedback on discovery, messaging or control, no spotting weaknesses before they cost, and no agreement on what good actually meant. He goes on to talk about like the impact and how each sales rep like made up their own kind of rules and figured it out for themselves, which if you haven't got any support, what else can you do? You're going to have to do that. But it just really rang bells, I think, alarm bells for me, because I think as a sales leader, we can really fall into this trap of getting stuck and bogged down in all of the reporting and the managing up and the team meetings that we have to run and blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that we get put on our agenda as a sales leader that we kind of forget to do the core thing, which is to observe and to coach and to help people get even better. Even if they're performing really well, they still want to get even better and hit even more of their targets, and especially if those targets are nice and big and juicy. So I guess what I wanted to kind of pick up here is the importance of observation. And I've got 2 things to kind of chat about. Chris, one of them is you and I actually, we're running a training program, and it's going into its 3rd year, I think, of this particular training program. And one of the things that you and I are actually introducing even more this year is now we've got the basics. Now we've talked about knowledge and skill and what that might look like in the form of like workshops and group coaching sessions and role plays and all of that. We're actually now going in and encouraging the managers by giving them tasks to observe all of their team and give their teams feedback. That's the next step of this is, right, you now know like what you should be doing more or less. So now it's about observing that behavior and checking if it's embedding and picking up on anything that they can do better. So, this is the next stage in a training program that we're running as well, is getting managers used to doing this and getting them factoring it into their day-to-day as well. So yeah, I'll stop there actually. I know I've got a second point, but maybe I'll bring that up a bit later. Chris, I'll come to you just because I've just mentioned you about this. What are you hoping that the managers will achieve from doing this exercise of like more feedback, more observation?
See, I try and shout this from the rooftops as much as I can. Imagine you have a swimming coach and you can swim, but you want to become a really good swimmer. And the swimming coach goes, okay, sporadically through the month, I'm going to phone you up and you have to tell me how you're doing at swimming. And you go, yeah, I'm doing pretty well. And the swimming coach goes, well done, that's great. How are you going to get better swimming? Yeah. What do you need to do? You need to get down the pool. You need to see your person in the pool. You need to observe what they are doing for so many reasons. But if you're leading salespeople, and yeah, we're not talking about going out and holding the hand. You don't want to go out and be the only person that can close deals. They can't get stuff across the line unless you're there. But you need to give feedback and develop people based on the real world, what's actually observably going on. Because like all human beings, our perception is always completely different from the reality. If there was a accident outside your hotel window in Switzerland now, Susie, a car accident, and 8 different people saw it from 8 different windows, they've seen the same accident, they'll give 8 completely different accounts. And this is the same. And you have to be there. You have to listen to what they're saying, look at the body language, be in that world with them. You can give them the best, most useful feedback ever. If you're not making the effort to go and do that, you're massively missing a trick. And there's no excuse now, not with technology. How many videos of video meetings get them recorded? How easy is it to record a sales call? There is no excuse to not be doing this now. The one excuse that I hear so much around the world is we haven't got time.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a different topic. We won't get into that. But yeah, Matt, right with you. Love this post. Thank you so much. Some of the best feedback sales training coaching I've ever had is when somebody's almost sat on my knee observing what I'm doing. When I've had it third hand, well, what you should do is this, what you should do is that. And I think, how do you know? Like, you're just guessing and it just doesn't land at all. So yeah, if you're listening to this and you're a sales leader, get in with your people, get on the road, listen to the calls, watch the videos. You can give them the best feedback from observation. Definitely. I will put my soapbox away now and hand over to Liam McCowan in our Liverpool studio.
Yeah, so I'm torn on this, and I'll explain the reason why. So I'm just looking at the evidence. So sales director doesn't say sales manager, or it says sales director, and it says there's 25 AEs. So I'm just wondering what the structure is there, because if the sales director directly manages 25 AEs and there's no sales manager or whatever we're calling them, senior sales, then that structure's a little bit wonky for me. Like, the sales director should probably be managing 3, maybe 4 managers who are looking after these AEs, maybe at least 1 or 2. So I'm not sure if we've got all the information to be able to judge this one. I agree completely. If you never go and see what it is, it's the same as training, but never coaching the training that you're doing. Like, you're just telling them stuff, but you're never coaching it in and helping them to understand how it works with their thing. The other thing that I'm a bit nervous about kicking off on in this one is it does say the numbers were good and the targets were hit and ARR grew. So I would be a little bit nervous about going to the sales director. You need to go and visit with everyone because it's working. I think maybe another approach to this might be to do some workshops with the people and get them to write the playbook rather than doing any visits. If these are operating well, I'm guessing someone must be looking at what they're doing, or they must be coaching each other. Like, you don't usually get everyone doing really well without some level of coaching. So yeah, I'm with you on it. You definitely need to, but in this instance, it's either it needs a bit more information, or it might just be a poster someone made up to make them look cool.
You know what? I've done what all salespeople do, and I've not listened properly. You're right. I've jumped over that sales director, 25 people. I'm imagining there's at least 2 sales managers beneath that. They should be out on the road. They should be doing the observations. The sales director should be supporting his managers.
Yeah,
I would say, if that structure's correct.
But let's not pick hairs here. Like, the message is,
Susie, that's the whole show.
Yeah, that's
It's not
exactly
pick
what.
hairs either, it's split hairs, isn't it? Whoops. But let's not do that. The message here is observe more. Like, if you don't
Yes.
know what teams are doing, whether you're the director or the leader or the manager or whatever your title is, if you're not doing this, then you're going based on gut feel or hearsay rather than evidence. And that's what basically I think this post is saying. So I think we're kind of pulling holes in the wrong bit, and I need to take a sip of water before I choke here. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
we can agree to disagree. I don't want the CEO doing any sales calls either. So it's a hierarchy thing for me. But Susie's choking on ice cube, so let's go on to the next one, Chris.
Okay, she's just smashing in a treble vodka and martini there. Living the James Bond lifestyle in Switzerland hotel. Yeah, good one, like that. Lee Marshall. Oh, this was me, wasn't it? Make Australia cold call again. The sales guy.
Why
Is
did you
it
like this, Chris? I can't work it out.
I don't know. Is this a MAGA reference though? The Make Australia cold call again. Not a very long post. I'll read it top to bottom. I'll be dead honest. I've shared this by reading the first few lines. It might go horribly wrong later in. Let's take that risk and see what it says. Lee Marshall, if you're listening, g'day. Says cold calling is all about booking a meeting. That's in those speech mark, quote mark things. Says this advice has been all over LinkedIn this week. Now, this is why I picked it up, because it has. I've noticed this as well. Lots of people saying it's just about booking a meeting. Usually written from sales directors of well-known global brands who probably don't know what a cold call looks like. Well, a good one anyway. All right. Let's be honest, it's terrible advice, says Lee. Your cold call should be all about your prospect, their problems, their world, not you. Focusing purely on the outcome or on getting a meeting is self-serving. Prospects do not want to deal with a self-serving salesperson. They wanted their problems fixed. They wanted a different perspective. They wanted to be challenged. They want to be helped. They don't want someone calling up begging for a virtual coffee, saying, I'd love to show you what we do. Stop focusing on booking meetings. Start focusing on what is required to get a prospect to invite you in. Start booking meetings that actually convert, not ones that look great on a dashboard to your sales director. So a lot of good points in there, Lee. I would take this a little bit further than that, though. Start focusing on what is required to get a prospect to invite you in. It's very nice language. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. My take on this is very simple. Your cold call is to discover if it is worth having a meeting for either party and being really open to the fact that it probably isn't, because anyone in your market isn't in a place to do business with you 97% of the time, for one. The better your list, the better your calls will go. But you're there to qualify hard to make sure that you're uncovering genuine opportunities, not I must book a meeting, because you're going to get all happy ears, you're going to push people in the wrong direction, etc., etc. So yeah, love the sentiment. I'd just push it a little bit further, Lee. And I've noticed this. I don't know if you guys have. I've seen about 7 different posts in the last week about your call is to book a meeting. There was one saying it shouldn't be longer than 5 minutes. Just get them to say yes to a meeting. Well, why? That's weird. Leo, okay, you first. What's your take on this? And again, we could split hairs, but the sentiment being your call isn't to definitely book a meeting, it's to see if you should.
Yeah, I've lost count of the amount of conversations I've had with SDRs or appointment makers or telemarketers or whatever we're saying to tell them that this wasn't the job. And I would rather have 5 really good, well-qualified opportunities for our sales teams to go and speak to than 55 people who've just said yes because we've railroaded them into saying yes, or we've had conversations with them, people who just seem to say. There was a company, I think they're still going, they're called Swedish Truck Parts. Now, they're based in Blackburn Ways, and they obviously sell parts for Swedish trucks.
What do they do?
The fella's lovely, dead nice fella. He does have mobile phones, but he was just one of them guys who accepted meetings with people all the time. I don't know if he was lonely or whatever the score was, but we kind of had a measure that when Swedish Truck Parts appeared on our meeting list that someone's booked it, we kind of needed to sit down with the guys and just tighten up the process and see where we were going with some stuff, because we were then too busy getting meetings than we were getting qualified opportunities to do business. And this extrapolates into sales as well. Like, your job isn't to get people to buy your product. Your job is to find out if people are a good fit for your product and then see if they want it. So, I think this we can extrapolate. Agree completely. cold calling is not about booking a meeting. And one final point is AI's got a lot to answer for the same post being all over social media right now. It's really good. It's really useful for loads of things. One thing it's not useful for is find some stuff that other people have posted and change it into my words so I can post it, because everyone's doing that and everyone's posting the same crap. So stop it now, please. Thanks.
Yeah. Biff behaviour, that. Susie?
You have been warned. Yeah. So I haven't really got anything to add to what you've said. I agree with what's being said in general. I know that we've been working with an SDR team recently, and the challenge that they've been having is that the targets that they're set are not contributing to the right behaviors. So the SDR team has got a target of booking meetings, so number of meetings. They then get passed on to the AEs who do a discovery meeting. And of course, the AEs have got conversion targets that they want to convert those discovery calls into opportunities or, of course, sales. And I think that's sometimes where this can go wrong. So if you've got two teams, if you've got SDRs or SCAs doing that cold call or doing that top of funnel, and then they pass it on to a account exec, business development rep, whatever you call them in your company, then what you need to make sure is that those targets are aligned. Otherwise, you're going to get a mismatch in behavior. So just wanted to add that from kind of like the sales manager point of view is, are you encouraging the right behavior with the targets that you're setting the team? Just a little enhancement there to what's already been said.
Yeah, I'd say with that as well is encourage the relationship between the AE and the SDR to have really good communication. Like help the AEs. What does good look like? Needs a bit of management on the cutoff line, because like any AE would go, well, it basically needs somebody sat with the checkbook open and ready, and they're just goal hanging. But yeah, a really good relationship between the AE and the SDR on that. But yeah, I remember coaching. In fact, Amy, Meg, if you're listening, I know we spent ages on this the other year, was changing that sales mindset from I must sell, I must get a meeting to whatever, to let's just be nosy to see if we should. And it actually takes so much of that pressure off you in sales for making that interruption, doing that thing. It's a great mindset shift as well. So love that, Lee. We'll try and get you on the podcast soon, mate. That'd be good. Right, 2 posts now. We're going to talk about them straight one after the other because there's a bit of a theme here. Okay, so first one, Austin Jouet. If I've butchered your name, I'm sorry, Austin. You got a lot of traction with this. Let's start with the fact that he got 487 comments, 239 likes. Now, this doesn't grade success in your life in any way. It might stroke your ego. Let's be open about that. But it's clearly got people talking. Let me read his post. Austin said, put me in a room with 100 other cold callers and I'll come out on top every single time. If you don't have this type of conviction, you are already set up for failure on the phones. Your ums and ers are words of an unconfident person, and your prospects instantly feel that. Who wants to go head to head? Agency, individual, anyone. That's his post. He has thrown the gauntlet down that he will take anyone on a cold calling and he'll win every time. Okay. That got quite a bit of track. Leon, would you ever go at Austin? Would you take him on?
Yeah, I'll be a bit rusty because I don't do as much cold calling as I used to, but I'm always up for a challenge. It's interesting. So ums and ahs are words of an unconfident person, and your prospects feel that instantly. They are, but they're also sometimes little things that you say when you're trying to think of a response, and that's okay. So I go to Toastmasters a fair bit. And one of the things that Toastmasters is trying to teach you and get you to do is when you're public speaking is to get rid of those ums and ahs. And it's something you've got to practice and do. And it doesn't necessarily mean you are unconfident. Sometimes it means just that your mouth's going a little bit faster than your brain and it hasn't quite caught up. So, yeah, I'd take him on. He's fractional, outbound and coaching. It's in his DNA. I'll have a look at his profile and send him a message and maybe we'll do a live call. It depends on what you're selling as well, though. Like if we'd swap products and I sold his and he sold mine, I suggest it might even it out a little bit.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, like that. Susie?
I just love your comment, Bertie Big Balls. Sorry. For anyone who's wondering what I'm laughing at, Chris has written a reply to him about throwing out the challenge. Hey, Yeah, of course it sounds unconfident, right? If you're umming and erring all the time, I do it a lot. And that's because I kind of think whilst I'm speaking mostly, but it does sound unconfident. So I'm going to pick up on that as a good tip. Otherwise, I'm just intrigued. I would just like to see you in action, Austin. Maybe you've got some videos, or you've got some other material out there that can convince me that you actually could put your money where your mouth is.
I think he's no intention. And Austin, I salute you if you read this. My comment was Bertie Big Bulls throwing out the challenge there on LinkedIn. I love it. Reminds me of those UFC videos where Captain Gobshite gets sparked out after cartwheeling about and making Yamar jokes at people. Point being here, to me, and I'm seeing a huge trend in this on LinkedIn, and I'm not knocking you at all, Austin. Every credit to you. This is like when you go on Facebook and I bet you can't name a fruit that begins with the letter B. And they get a million comments. Oh, banana. Yeah, because people jump on it. It's getting huge traction. This is rage bait at its best. Well done, Austin. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And if you are listening, Austin, I'll take you on a cold call, pal. Equally, Connor Weston. Now, straight away, Connor, do you want traction? Do you want rage bait? Yeah. So you put a picture of yourself holding a cigarette. Now, that's obviously going to get attention from people, isn't it? Is your photograph, tattoo on your hand, holding a cigarette on a deck chair. Connor says, stop being liked, start being feared. The salespeople making bank don't people please. They own their frame, they believe in their offer, they command respect. I learned this the hard way. Being nice didn't protect me. It made me invisible. Nice guys ask for permission. Leaders just take what's theirs. That's the shift. Like, why don't you just rip your shirt open, beat your chest, and go and get off with bloody Grant Cardone in the corner somewhere? Yeah. Please don't sue us, Grant Cardone. Again, and I don't know how well he's doing with this one. Let's have a look. Oh, not as well as others, but people are going to jump on that. I bet. Let's just have a look at some of these comments. Why would you want to show up in the world in a way that elicits fear? I'm genuinely curious how it feels to have the worst content on LinkedIn. Great comment from a guy called Eric there. How about trying to earn respect and trust rather than stop biting? I bet you can't name a vegetable that begins with a letter W. I really can't now. I've said that. But what's going on at the moment on LinkedIn, and it could be AI that's doing it. It could be the fact people have gone, hang on a minute, this is just about getting visibility and traction. Part of me thinks this is about people being a bit fed up. They're being a bit fed up on LinkedIn with regurgitated content, selfies, whatever, and they're going, it's clearly not a professional information sharing platform. Let's have a bit of a laugh. Let's go for it. 3 out of 4 posts done by the fellas at Wham are brilliant. They're funny, they're comedic, they're whatever. I love what they do there. But it is all saying we're not taking it that seriously anymore. And all these people are laughing the way to the load of traction. So I'm not knocking them at all. If you found a way to game the system, absolutely great. What I'm saying to people is stop biting. Stop. Like, that's the reaction people are after, isn't it? How dare you? Oh, for God's sake. I'm finding all this genuinely quite amusing. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this. Susie, I know that you're ready to go to a restaurant somewhere in Switzerland, so I'll come to you first because I know we're nearly out of time. What do you make of these sorts of posts? What's going on there? Personally, I don't think they're serious. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
I don't know if it's just me or my algorithm, but I'm not noticing them as much as you two seem to be. Maybe I'm just ignoring them because I kind of scoot through them as soon as I kind of smell a rat. But this particular post is not the best post, but I actually think there are things in here that are relevant to talk about as a salesperson. So I think if he'd have just said, stop being liked or stop making being liked so important to you, crossed out the start being feared, I think he's kind of got a point, right? That we need to be standing up for ourselves, that we need to be saying no sometimes, and telling prospects, like, sounds like we're not a match, so I'm just going to leave it there. Thanks very much for your time. And, should anything change, let me know. But I think that if you read that from this post, I think we can learn something as salespeople, believing in your offer, own your space, if you like, be proud of what you're doing, command respect. Okay, maybe the word command is the wrong word, but, Chris, you talk about authority a lot, in your voice and when you're speaking about stuff. So maybe I'm trying to find a positive spin on something that's not so positive, but I think you can take a few things out of this post. So, Connor, I feel like I'm backing you up a little bit here.
Oh, as I said, I'm not knocking either of them. Like, well done. They're getting traction, and it's their own brand. I mean, Connor calls himself the Wolf of Southeast Asia. Like, it's going to be provocative, isn't it, Leon?
Yeah, I don't really like commenting on whether someone's LinkedIn's what you should do or not, because whatever works for people is whatever works for people. I just think, like, what's the other guy? Is it Brandon Clouser? Is the other guy who's like showing pictures of himself in the gym and training and calling people fit to burn and stuff like that. Like, if that gets you the right kind of audience, then you do you, I guess. Like, salespeople making bank don't people please. That's not 100% true. Sometimes they do. We are human beings after all. They own their frame. Yeah, they do. They believe in their offer. Yeah, you've got to believe in your offer, 100%. They command respect. Well, I'm not sure you need to command respect. I think you need to build mutual trust, and that'll get you the long way when it comes to sales. You trust each other. Learning stuff the hard way, I'm sure he has. I noticed that he used to work at Lead Forensics, so he's obviously done his graft, to be fair to Connor, and it's tough. It's a tough gig doing that. Being nice didn't protect me. Well, being a dick won't help you either. So, I get not being nice, but you can be nice and still be respectful of your own time and other people's stuff. Nice guys ask for permission. Yeah, they do, but so do people who are doing all right for themselves now and again as well. Do you know what I mean? I agree that you don't want to be 100% submissive, but you also don't want to be too abrupt. Otherwise, you might scare a few people up. And then it said, leaders take what's theirs. And this is the only thing I completely disagree with Connor on. Leaders don't take what's theirs. Leaders generally, with what's theirs, share it out with the people who work for them. And that's what makes them leaders. They're the kind of people who don't take the glory on stuff and they let other people have the glory as long as they still win. The true measure of a leader is one who creates other leaders, and you don't do that by being a dick. You only do that by doing the good stuff. So I love Connor's stuff. I love his tats. I love his having a biff there. I love that he said that he went to Bali and smoked 437 cigars in 21 days. Fair play to you. Good stuff. But I definitely disagree with Connor's view of what leadership is.
Yeah, we'll take that. Everybody keep doing it. Keep putting your stuff on LinkedIn. If it's as Leon said, if it's getting you traction and it works, I haven't got anything wrong with that whatsoever. My pushback is stop biting, will you? People online, stop getting riled. Like, life's too short. Don't get riled by what somebody's put online.
They never will, though. So I'll send you a couple of pictures. I was on the Anfield Rap podcast. I've been on it a few times with the lads who are ace, talk all things Liverpool and football and stuff like that. And I was on last week, and I must have said something useful because they clipped some of the video that we did and put it on the socials. And everyone kept on sending me pictures of people commenting, going, oh, look, when you've got a wedding at 10 a.m., but you're on the Anfield Rap at 2:30, who's this biff in the three-piece suit? And it's like, some people just have got nothing better to do than moan about people's content. And, they're the ones who aren't going to be going anywhere at the end of the day. But yeah, keep bringing the content. Give me some hate. I love it. What about me hair? Take the piss out of my hair, man.
Are you talking to me and Susie now? Do you want us to start? Or
please do. Don't. But
I love your hair.
The trick is not to do it now on the podcast. It's to do it from a fake account on social media somewhere and try and hurt my feelings, which you won't.
I think it would be a bit of a stretch for me to have a pop at anybody about their hair. Hey, that was Boss. Are we looking for a theme for today's post?
Susie would love one.
Well, I'm going to try and anchor one in here. Mike Gallardo, 6 steps to structure an outbound sequence. Really, really useful stuff there. We're going to share all these on the socials. Go and follow Mike, sales director at Deal. He's posting some great stuff at the moment. Matt Kay, yeah. There may be some confusion over the structure of the company there, but a great post about give feedback on what you've observed. It gives far better quality feedback for people. Lee Marshall, you're not phoning up to book a meeting. You're phoning up to see if you should. Love that, Lee. And then Austin Dewey, he's going to take you on. Are you going to take the challenge with Austin with making cold calls we could sort that out. We could do a showdown with that, definitely. And then Connor, keep smoking your bifters. Maybe don't command respect. Maybe share the love a little bit and lead people from the front, not by shouting at them. Really clear thing today. These have all been LinkedIn posts, which I think is uncanny. I can't believe that's happened. But we hope to help you. This is it. We hope what people have been sharing online this week has helped you maybe hit a few more targets, earn a bit more commission, go and buy some new shoes.